Yeah, this is LFDRA audio, Monday the 6th of January 2025. The thing is, we know now since the Texas University spoke publicly about semantic decoding and how, I've spoken about this in a previous LFDRA audio, how AI, what's been spoken about on World Science Festival. I am a fan of World Science Festival. Brian Green's presentation of World Science Festival on YouTube. I do watch that. According to it, he did something in Brisbane. He had a show in Brisbane or something with the World Science Festival. Brian Green. But there's also other good physicists theories and ideologies on YouTube presentations on Actually, in my spare time, I do study anthropology. I'd consider myself a bit of an anthropologist. Though that's a part-time hobby, being an anthropologist, which is the study of anthropology. An anthropologist is someone who studies all aspects of science, all the sciences. That's what an anthropologist is. Anthropology is the study of all sciences. So all the aspects of ology, and all that. Scientist, ST. And what's the fake name MI5 ordered? How do you spell psychiatrist? It's got an ST, doesn't it? And still is spelled ST as well. Though I've never had a day in court for over 12 years after being abducted and drugged, but on what the Texas University went public with about semantic decoding and AI human-level intelligence, how AI is at human-level interaction with the aspect of input-output, how Texas University... See, the thing is now is if they're knowingly arresting people and drugging them for pharmaceutical industry profits for the slave trade, CST slave trade, still up, which is a fake name, but like I said, what was letter 3, 4 and 5 of name? ILL as in ill. Yeah, it's exploited because MI5 ordered the name that my dad's dad changed his name to Stiller when just after my dad was born. So that's one of the pages about Stiller being a fake name ordered by MI5 just after my dad's birth. Though on AI human-level intelligence and Texas Uni about semantic decoding and how it's in prediction mode, how measurement theft is in prediction mode from forced MRIs, how the aspect of thought, what thought can do in the measured apparatus, yet measured MAR 250 plus is actually real. You might find it interesting to get a laptop computer. You could do a hypothesis and a conclusion, how they schedule shit. You could do a hypothesis and a conclusion. You could get a Microsoft laptop and play Mahjong. You know Mahjong? The game how you match the characters and everything on a board until there's no characters left. You could get a laptop and play Mahjong, however many tiles there are in the Mahjong thing, and play Mahjong. And then say 12 months later, after playing Mahjong on a measured device that's got a memory and DDR, you could do a conclusion to the hypothesis after playing Mahjong and see what happens after playing Mahjong. Though it's terrorism that the Fed is knowingly funding. So if they'll arrest people and force people to have an MRI and they'll drug people for pharmaceutical industry profits. But as I've said in previous LFDRA broadcasts on @Harry Stiller LFDRA, please do like, subscribe and comment. I think we picked up another subscriber. So at the moment, there's one subscriber. Though all the new LFDRA audio broadcasts on the two podcast playlists, after they reach about 3 or 4 hours, there'll be a compilation into a new 3 or 4 hour long, and they'll go into oldest to latest LFDRA audio new podcast. So at the moment, there's 2 videos in there. Another video got in there, but I wasn't meant to put it in that podcast playlist, though it's in that podcast playlist, the LFDRA one with the blue logo with LFDRA, the blue background LFDRA logo. But semantic decoding is at human level interactions with AI, with our information technology. And of course it's exploited. But the thing is, if you knowingly did exploit the aspect of measured install, MI measured install, the brain, so Texas Uni were knowingly, they're public on the planet about semantic decoding to the aspect of the measured brain interacting in BCI with the computer, and where the aspect of it, if they are knowingly facilitating measurement theft and knowingly measuring brains to the hard drives to keep people in the snare maze of the pharmaceutical industry profits in the measured apparatus. See, according to it, I've already said this in previous LFDRA audio broadcasts. In 2013, Campbell Newman just got re-elected and changed the law in mental health to a locked door policy. And I was staying at my sister Kim's place. I hadn't visited her for years, so I went there, and she had the first job in her life. She had the job for 4 months. One of my sisters has only worked 4 months in her whole life. 4 months cleaning toilets at a school. 4 months in her whole life, she was working for Definition 6. She was working for a state government school cleaning toilets. And she gave all this trust to Definition 6. Definition 6 put themselves on the pedestal as the saviour of people's lives with their employees. And I was talking about Thomas S. Monson. I'm Mr. Stiller. And Treat Stiller's mind, Mr. Harry Stiller, Maryborough Health Service. Of course it's exploited. Who profits? Who profits from the measured apparatus? Where does the money go? It's knowingly did. In the measurement, there are measurement crimes and they are exploited. Measurement theft is a crime under Republic of Australian law. It would be a crime to knowingly measure someone's brain to a hard drive or a measured apparatus. Though where does the money go? And does the average Australian understand that 73% to 75% of what's claimed to be Australian business is owned by the United States of America? Corporations. 73 to 75% of business in Australia is owned by American businesses. Who's the owner of Wesfarmers? A former Harvard graduate who was a US military. Who owns Wesfarmers? A former US Harvard military ex-employee of the United States government of America, or existing employee of the United States government. that owns Wesfarmers and how they flogged that. But 73% to 75% of Australian business is knowingly owned by the United States of America. And they get like, oh, who's fucking anti all this shit? Who's fucking anti and all this shit? But where does the money go in the measured apparatus? I did write to Kevin Rudd about Australia should become a republic in 5 years' time in 2010, 2011 or 2012. Though I reported to the National Security Hotline in 2011, 2012 about what a Indian soldier with an Indian ID card working on a banana farm. I reported to the National Security Hotline that there was a terrorist group planning to attack bridges, to attack bridges, blow up bridges. And we saw the bridge attacked by the Al-Qaeda India subcontinent people on the merchant ship in Baltimore. But I was just arrested and labelled delusional, forced to have my brain measured to a hard drive, not a day in court I haven't had a day in court yet. They've got secret rigged tribunals, but no lawyer. Lawyers know. Lawyers obviously know to the aspect that a measured apparatus, they can do nothing for someone in these secret rigged tribunals because they're just, the law system is they'll just abduct and drug measure their brains to hard drives. And where does the money go? Who makes the money in the pharmaceutical industry? And how many people have been murdered over the past 5 years? Over 170,000 people from the ALP, the LNP and the Monikers League. Though where does the money go? In the pharmaceutical industry profits, where does the money go? It's all about money. And who profits in that money business? In the extortion of people's lives to have their brains measured to hard drives in the measured apparatus. And where does the money go? To the NASDAQ, doesn't it? To the shareholders in the NASDAQ. And who owns that? American businesses. So at the moment, my screen recording app won't work on Microsoft. So I can't do any screen recordings of my website because it's been blocked. It says you have to reinstall the app, but you don't. It claims it's working, but I'll start recording and doing a voice, and then it'll just stop working. So I don't think that they don't want the fact about comp residential and generic Oscar and Ruscar to be known. They don't want a fair and equal stable way. The ALP are a facilitator of malware. So, and the LNP are a listed terrorist organisation. So, and the AFP believe we're UK. Because if we're not UK under King Charles, it'll be similar to the Boer War. But they're already committing genocide of the civil population. And where does the money go? The staff of the government and to the NASDAQ businesses of America and all the retailers in between that make the money, because they'll say, if you don't take this forced injection after having your brain measured to a hard drive on shit made up by it. The fact of the matter is that my sister, she lied. I never said anything to her about what she said to definition 6 in the aspect of the apparatus. Measurement theft is fucking real, but in psychiatry, what they claimed as fiction for fucking years in their human slavery trade, for all their fucking shopping lists, and then they'll go, oh, you got to believe, all this shit. So I'm not going to that website because I'm not going to the fucking page that I was going to talk about. You can all go and get fucked. I don't give a shit. You chose You chose ALP malware. You chose LMP malware. Though all of you terrorist regime cunts voted that the government can just abduct and drug anyone they want at any time they want, measure their brains to fucking hard drives, and drug them and murder them. That's what you fucking voted for.